Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this event. And thank you so much for attending this event and being part of the same. Really appreciate it. I just want to start with one particular thing, and my journey with taxation or India taxation has been, it started more or less with GST, and it has completely transformed the way we look at tax. And I would put it across the more conversations I am having with tax professionals across India, across globally as well. And it's kind of making a change where tax is transforming business. And that is a kind of a very unique proposition we are seeing. The e-invoice mechanism which has started maybe in many different countries, but is going to go into maybe I think nearly 90 plus countries across the globe in next 5 years. So that is a kind of a transformation is happening. And governments are very keen to use this particular mechanism to improve their tax collections, and it is also helping compliance. But is this only limited to compliance, or it is going beyond compliance? And that is something I would want to talk about today. Can you play the video first, and then we kind of go on to the presentations, please?
Hop on our tax time machine as we embark on a journey into the future world, unveiling the secrets of what lies ahead. From working hours on building trial balance and balance sheet to automated trial balance and balance sheet. From e-way bills looked as just an indirect tax compliance to e-way bills generating business expansion opportunities. Taking daily stock inventories to automated HSN marketplace enabling easy and competitive trade. Unlock the possibility of achieving business profitability with tax data. What if we told you that this is not just a dream but can be turned into reality? Let us see how.
Can you move to the presentation? So the first and the foremost important point I just want to take, and these are some thoughts, some ideas which comes out of each conversations I am having on a daily basis. Is tax for business or it's also for profitability? And very critically, how much is the tax compliance or non-compliance, I'll put it across, is impacting the profitability on a day-to-day basis? Means every organization I talk, and including our own, do we really know the liability that we are all sitting into the non-compliance that has happened over the last 6 years or 7 years? Are these challenges actually data related, or actually it's more of a compliance issue? Or the tax authority not being prepared in handling this complication is actually creating issues for us? So these are the areas where we need to really do a deep dive and come up with more particular solutions by which we can insulate our organizations from the future challenges. The second point that I would want the people to discuss on today is tax was always out of the boardrooms, or for most of the part it is out of the boardrooms. Can we get tax discussions back into the boardrooms? Because it is going to impact the profitability of the organizations in a big way. And the amount of kind of post-mortem that we are doing in terms of the notices that are coming in terms of the compliance challenges that we have, is really going to impact the future profitability of our organization. And to mitigate that, getting tax into the boardroom is extremely critical, by which we again kind of find the right mechanism or the solutions to move out of it. So this is the second area that we would want to be discussed today. The third point that is there, what are the solutions to it? And there are two ways to look to the entire exercise, and we call it as the large advisory firms kind of use technology to help organizations be compliant. So it is more of a tool for them by which they help you to compliance. The companies like us who are into tax technology kind of help you to automate and use technology to ensure that the challenges are much less. So the post-mortem exercise or a pre kind of a determination of what problems we are going to face, it's a kind of a role that needs to be decided, or it's a combination of both that would have a approach. But automation is the key and digitization is the key which is going to help you at every stage. Is it possible to absolutely, like the way indirect and direct taxes are converging today, is it possible that we can have automated balance sheet creations by which the entire process can be eased out? Is it possible that we kind of create e-way bill and GBS intelligence? And very interesting, hardly any of us know that. Now even FASTag data is available. And I had come across a very unique case when I was visiting a client in Pune, that all the stock transfer that they had done, a 850 crore notice had come to that particular client and saying that this particular goods have not reached your warehouse. And the government had come up with the FASTag data that none of the vehicles has passed the FASTag kind of a area at that particular thing. Now this data is also available to us as a taxpayer to kind of validate and build our systems around it, by which we are more ready with the evidence to be provided to the government area. HSN automation. Now a very interesting kind of a problem statement that comes into the direct tax area. How do you really determine TDS? And honestly speaking, not a single tax professional can say that we are 100% accurate into it. Is AI ML based on a HSN data possible to kind of help you to determine that? It is possible today. Another area is that I want to buy a particular product and I know the HSN code of it. Can a marketplace availability be there by which I can actually find out who are the other vendors providing the same HSN material? Even such marketplace based on this data is possibility. So these are the kind of new possibilities which is helping us from the current data what is available to us, and will help our business into it. This will directly impact our profitability. This will directly impact our compliance in a much better way than what it is today. Some of the kind of more areas in a kind of a IDT space, and we are sitting on a gold mine of data. So is the government sitting on a gold mine of data. It's not only us. And kind of it's a very interesting conversation we have been having, is that the amount of notices that the government is issuing on a daily basis to us, it is impossible, humanly impossible to respond, cater and respond in time to all those notices. And if you kind of evaluate, 70% of that notice is as purely data related. And on one side the government has sent us a notices, don't do data scrapping. We don't have an API to kind of actually take the notices data from the government portal. But a mixture of something, a solution has to be found out by which we are able to respond around it. There is a trend and changes in the consumption pattern, you can identify it. Your sales patterns you can identify. What are the markets which are available? We are doing an interesting project with a cement company. From a GPS data, from the global kind of a satellite data, we are actually able to identify which are the new construction sites which are coming in using AI, and whether that particular company is supplying cement into that particular site or not. This type of determination is also possible with use of technology. HSN code data is one of the most intelligent data, and that can be used into that. Tracking of goods is also possible. So there is an ample amount of new information is available. The e-invoice data, that is a kind of again a gold mine of data which will actually help into your business. The most of the challenges that we face today in terms of GL reconciliation, I don't know, globally GL reconciliation with the sales and purchase data has been a mandate whenever we talk with global clients. But in India it is still being done to an extent as a manual level, and it has not been highly automated. This is an area where the change is coming in. 26 AB to AS to kind of 2B. This is a typical reconciliation. On one side you have a summary data, on another side you have a transaction level data. This reconciliation is important for you to comply in a better way. TDS reconciliation, again this is a critical part. AI-based reconciliations of your 2A. And this reconciliation has to actually impact your means like what payments you make to your vendors. Again, for a SME, MSME vendor, you have to make the payments within 45 days, but still be clear that you are complied with it. So these are the kind of automation portal. And notices, this is the biggest challenge that the industry is facing today. I want to kind of touch base on a very unique solution that is now possible to do is TDS. And this is when we talk about TDS, when we are kind of processing the invoices, it is a complex process. Human intervention is required in terms of what percentage of TDS kind of need to be deducted. Are we actually looking at the thresholds of the turnover? We are not looking at the threshold of turnovers. In most cases, we start deducting at a higher rate from day one. Lot of this is possible, but now with a unique solution coming in, and this is, as far as my awareness is concerned, this is the first in the time that industry we are coming up with this type of solution, that you can actually have APIs which will help you to determine based on the HSN and the description and the vendor's other information to determine TDS into it. So more we'll talk about it in a one-to-one session, but this is a kind of a unique solution which is possible for us to do. This is the ML based solution which we are talking about today. You can get the transaction level data, you get the vendor data, you kind of do a transaction verification, a calculation engine will actually calculate the TDS amount, and at the line item level what a percentage of TDS you need to deduct, that also kind of is possible. The classification is also kind of done into it, and the API level information or a flat file information also kind of can be provided and it can help. So these are the type of intelligent solutions which are available because taxation is being automated in today's time, and this is very, very critical for us to know. The major challenges which I am seeing from the industry standpoint is we are doing automation in a piecemeal manner. Means it's kind of I would say there could be budget constraints, there could be challenges in terms of understanding, but the major challenge when we talk about it is twofold. One, we have to kind of come out of the problems that are there already for the last 6 years. At the same time, we have to also think about it that we do not kind of create problems for the future. And this is a kind of a point that we need to cater to it in a twofold strategy. If I kind of blunt it out, digitization and automation is the only way which will help into it. You need to move out of the Excel sheets, because the Excel sheets that have been prepared 6 years back are just not available. Those people are not there in the companies. How do we respond to those notices? So these are the kind of a problem areas that is being faced. Some of the major kind of challenges which are there is notices. Means how do you really respond in a quick and a fast manner to that? Second is reconciliation with your 2A and TB. Now with completely linked system between GSTR1 and 3B filing at GSTN, the loopholes have been plugged to a major extent, and that is a thing. A new challenge is coming in is that in future B2C invoicing, e-invoicing is also going to come into it. Multiple discussions have already happened, and sometime in the future that also will happen. The data requirement in the direct and indirect tax is converging, and more kind of a synchronization that happens at a corporate level onto it would be beneficial. So these are the few areas for you to look into it, how it could benefit, how it could help in terms of the processing of that. That is the kind of a conversation or the starting point I would want to put across for all of you to debate. We have a small group. We can have multiple internal conversations also during the day sessions, and we will have more interesting conversations into the panel discussions and the presentations around it. So thank you so much for BMI for this kind of event, and thanks a lot for you to all participating into it.